Mokoia Island in Lake Rotorua is home to the legend of New Zealand's own star-crossed lovers, Hinemoa and Tutanekai. Forbidden by her father from seeing Tutanekai, Hinemoa swam more than 3 kilometres out to the island, guided by the sound of Tutanekai's flute. What romance and mystery does this island have in place for us today? Well, come with me and find out.
Our whanaunga tū wharetoa from Taupo, he came across to visit Mokoia over here on the island. He was living with his wife, Rangiuru. So he came up to the island and he went and knocked on the door. Rangiuru come to the door and he said, "Oh, kai he taku whanaunga." He says, "Oh, he's gone to Makitu. He's looking for, going to get kai moana, you know." He goes over there for 3 months at a time. So he looked at her and he said, "Aha." She said, "Aha." They both aha'd and she became pregnant. Mokoia adopted Tutanekai as his own son.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't I probably wouldn't be here. This is my ancestor. As Tutanekai was growing up, Mokoia decided to dedicate him to Tūmatoinga, the god of war. So he said to his tohunga, Muri Rangaranga, he said, "Muri Rangaranga, haere mai, mahia ngā karakia mo taku tama." So Muri Rangaranga performed the ceremony, and by rights he was tapu, he was sacred. He was not allowed to eat food with his hands. Sometimes you'll see photos with a tohunga with his hands behind the back and people feeding him, yeah, because of the sacredness. Within the 3 months, they say he was wandering around the island and he looked and he saw these ripe poroporo berries. He looked around, nobody watching, so he thought he'd start having a kai. Someone saw him and reported it to Mokoia. And Mokoia said by doing that he'd put a curse on his son. And it was sacrilege to shed the blood of a tohunga, so what they did, they took the tohunga out in the lake, put his foot on his head and drowned him under the water. And from the right arm bone of Muri Rangaranga was made the kōwauau, the flute for Tutanekai. Yeah. And that's where that saying came from. As sweet as marrow were the sound of the music of Tutanekai's flute. To Hinemoa's ears as she swam over the lake. What happened is they used to visit a lot on the island. They go out and visit the different marae. So they went over to Hinemoa Point, as it's called now, and Tutanekai looked over and he saw this beautiful maiden. He fell in love with her and she fell in love with him. Hinemoa's parents didn't want her to have anything to do with Tutanekai. They said he was a bastard child. But Tutanekai said that at nights I'm going to sit up on Kaiweka, I'm going to play my kōwauau. Hinemoa could bear it no longer, so she went down to grab a waka, but they had pulled all the canoes up. So they knew what was happening, so she put on these 2 calabashes, goods, jumped to the water, and she swam across to the music of Tutanekai's flute, and she ended up in this pool. Tutanekai's mokai came down to get some water at the spring. As he's going past, he says, "Koi tera," and he said, "Oh, ko Tiki." Tiki was his name, the mokai of Tutanekai. So he went up to tell Tutanekai. He came running down the pool with his taiaha. Looking around, they said there was some flax was hanging over the side, and he saw the figure there, and he pulled it apart. "Aha." She said, "Aha." Because she'd swum across, they allowed her to marry him.
The story of Hinemoa and Tutanekai on Mokoia Island is one of those wonderful love stories that ended happily ever after.